So I would like to appreciate the fact that you have showed up. It is really an amazing thing that anyone can do for what? For a friend. So, like for example, in a situation whereby you have a wedding, then you call visitors, then no one shows up. How does it feel? It feels bad. So my name is Emily. I think most of you, you're used to me. Okay. My name is Emily. I know Mujisha. I come from Tungam. And I'm going to serve as a moderator for this occasion or for this edition. First and foremost, today we are going to discuss about how entrepreneurs start their business, how do they work hand in hand with their clients and other organizations to ensure that they succeed in their business. First and foremost, entrepreneurship is not all about starting a business. It is all about how you know SWOT analysis. Like you identify the opportunities, the challenges, solutions, and you actually lay strategies on how to succeed. Because where you operate the business from, you have there are other businesses or you have your competitors. So it depends. How do you outweigh other business, yet they're also dealing with the what? The same product. So if you have a product and you cannot do what? You cannot understand its value, then it will be very difficult for you to sell it. And in the process of you struggling to sell it, then it will be hard for you to scale it. Thus, today's theme. So the floor is to you. What is next on this agenda is you introducing yourself, what you do, and then sit down. After that, we shall welcome our chief organizer, then later to the chief guest. After that, we shall have answer and question session. Then after that, we shall have any other business, and then closure. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition. Thank you very much. Introduction.
Thanks very much. My name is Tracy Baker, but I prefer to be called MTF Baker. I am part of Digitech Solutions Hub. It's a digital agency that is helping businesses and professionals to use technology to optimize and use technology to simplify their repetitive tasks so as to improve their productivity and efficiency. We are here in Mbarara, and for this purpose, I'm here to learn, share, and network. Thank you.
It's okay.
Good evening. My name is Opio Evans. I'm a counseling psychologist with a specialty in addiction and trauma counseling and therapy. I'm also into business because I'm a managing partner at Humura Recovery Center. So Humura Recovery Center is a new facility in Mbarara, in Boma. And so we are setting up a treatment facility. And so we are here to first network, to learn how to be able to move our business venture to another level. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Norman Thaddeus. Um, should I call myself a student? A student? No, I've just completed a diploma in mechanical engineering. Yeah, so this is my first time to be here. I'm like a new person here, so I really don't know what you up to. So a new person here, so I'm happy to be here with you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
My name is Namara Peace, and yeah, I am a student and a developer, and yeah, I'm happy to be part of us again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Chawayola Paul. I'm a student. I've just finished diploma in computer science. So basically, I've just finished. I'm finishing intern, and it was my first time to be aware of this. So this is a wonderful opportunity for us to experience and interact with people who have different ideas. So I'm so delighted to be here. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm called Geronimo Amanya, um, founding director, Safe Spaces Uganda. We are setting up an office behind. Yeah, I'll be sitting with her near her table. Yeah, so we're developing local solutions, local AI solutions for Africa. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Uh, my name is Pore Biabazire. I'm a student and I'm with Borofa.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aga Fortunate. I work with Digital Chronicles Limited. It's an edtech company located here on High Street. We deal in software development. We have systems for schools, for businesses, hotels. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Irene Kamsime, doing marketing business like online, especially, but it's about agriculture. I'm the distributor of the fertilizer called Supergrow. I think I'm here by chance.
Okay, thank you. Is here by chance.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Akandwana Onesimus, a student at Mbara University of Science Technology, doing my bachelor's in computer science, and I am currently exploring networking and cybersecurity. So anything involving that, involve me. Wishing you the best.
Evening, everyone. I'm called Biakata Joseph, a young developer. I have recently finished my studies at the University of St. Joseph, and I like the thing called technology and development, developing the world through technology. So I'm glad to be here.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arinda Angel. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nwohiro Promise. I'm a lawyer by profession, currently pursuing an LLM in law and digital innovation, and I'm majorly interested in. I don't know whether you have ever heard of intellectual property law, but if you have any innovation and you wish it to be protected, you want to have that legal right over it, I'm in that area. I give patents. I work with things to do with patents, copyright. Those are the things that I've majored in, and that's why I'm close to people that are into innovations and digital space. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So for those ones who are actually here for the first time, we normally come here to network with entrepreneurs, partners, business owners, and starters, anyone. As long as you see the cafe in Balala, that's what we normally do. We interact, network. If you need support system, we are available. So when we call you, please respond. So that's what we normally do. We come here to discuss business matters. And I had told you, entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur and being an innovator, those are two different things. Because entrepreneurship is a process, but an innovator is a what? Is a catalyst to make ideas come into reality. But now, when it comes to organization, it depends on what you start and the energy. Are you able, or do you have the capability to explain what you're doing confidently? Like, business is communication. If you can't communicate, then you don't have a business. Because at the end of the day, you are actually competing with your other business people who are actually doing the same business. But how do you position yourself for sustainable growth? So that's what we call entrepreneurship. So actually, most entrepreneurs spend a lot of time, sleepless nights to improve the quality. But if you cannot pitch it, you can't sell it. And if you can't sell it, you cannot scale it. So at this moment, I would like to invite the chief organizer, who will after introduce to us the chief guest. So feel at home, listen attentively, and I wish you the best in this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our today's host. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, those at the back? All right. My name is Joseph Muhanguzi. I love to normally start with stories whenever I want to start a conversation. So there is this story that I had. There was a guy who had fallen inside the pit. So the pit was too deep that this guy couldn't get out of the pit himself. So as he was inside the pit stranded, he had someone walking outside on top of the pit. So he raised his head up and he shouted for help. So he was like, "Help me." So the guy who was passing by, he looked down, the guy looked up, and he told this guy, "Help me." So what this guy responded to him is, he told him that, "I am a lawyer. Once you get out of the pit, I will help you to sue the person who dug this pit over here." Now, I want you to note one keyword: once you get out of the pit. So the guy continued and left. So inside the pit, things are very tight. You don't have no help. You don't know way of getting out. And remember, the more you stay in there, the more you get stressed. And with emotional stress, you start getting crazy thoughts. So in the midst of that, he had another person walking by. So he used the same energy and called out for help. So the guy looked down and the guy looked up. The guy looked down again and the guy asked him, "Can you please help me?" So the guy who was on top told him, "I am a professional doctor. I will give you free treatment once you get out of the pit." Once again, please note the keyword: if you get out of the pit. So, in the midst of that, you have lost hope because so far 2 people have passed by. No one is willing to help. Now, again, the get out of the pit is what is challenging this person. But every person who's passing by is providing hope, but in different perspective. And in this case, so many of us are in the same pit. You are either running a business and you are in a pit. You are either pursuing your education, you are in a pit. So he had lost all the hope. The oxygen had already almost reduced. So while he was dying, he prayed to God, God, if you are to take me, I am saved. Please take me well. So as he prayed his last prayer to go and die, he had another person coming by. So he collected all the energy he had and shouted for one more last time. So when he shouted, the guy looked down and the guy looked up and told the person up that, can you please help me? So the guy who was up immediately jumped in the pit. So the guy who was in the pit, imagine how hard it was for him to get out of the pit. And then there is another person who has jumped in the pit. He looked at the guy, he said, are you okay? Are you crazy? Because I cannot get out of the pit and you have joined me inside the pit. How are we going to get out? So the guy who had jumped in the pit told him, relax, brother. I know the way out. Okay? So he told him, I have been to this pit before, so I know the way out. So similarly, you have your business, you're pursuing your studies, maybe you're working on something, but there is a guy out there who knows the way out. There is someone who has been in the same pit before, the pit you are in right now. So why we have these kind of events, why we organize this kind of networking sessions, is because you can be able to meet that guy who has been in this same pit before and knows the way out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Founders Day Cafe, a monthly event that we always have here at Hive Collab every first Friday of the month. And this is a continuous series of events where we have specific themes for every kind of event. So for this year in particular, we were having Build to Scale. And like the host said, we were having URSB coming here. We had URA, we had the AI Studio coming here as well to speak to us. So all these are helping us on our journey on building how to scale, on building to scale. So what does that mean, build to scale? So you have an idea, you have your business, or maybe you are dreaming of starting something, okay? So how do you then scale it? So this is where our theme based on. So the URSB helped us to take us through how you can register. Now, before we went to build to scale, last year, which was 2025, we had a series of events, but they were not themed because we had just launched Founders Day Cafe in Imbalala, and we didn't know what exactly we should actually look at. But during the event, we could hear people talk about this, talk about that. How do I register? How do I get to partner with another company? How do I, So we realized that there is a challenge that everyone is facing, which is building to scale. And this is where we said, okay, now if you want to partner with, let's say, Just Tech Solutions, you need to be a legitimate company that is working already, that is doing something, and it's compliant, okay? And to all the taxation laws and is compliant to all to the law that governs entrepreneurship and business in Uganda. So that's where we got the idea of let's have URA, let's have URSB. And then after we knew the way of how we can, do all those things, then we realized, oh, we are in a digital era, but not only in a digital era, but also in an AI era. So we partnered with AI Studio. They came and gave us a session on how you can use AI to market, to build, to scale. And this itself has helped us to shape our businesses and our ideas. Okay, so for those who have been consistently coming, you already know, and each step or each conversation that we have is basically focused on how to shape your business. Now, you have the business, you have the idea. AI has polished your idea. It's beautiful. You look at it, you look at your innovation, and you fall in love with it. But then there is me who has come to you, and I want you to tell me about your business. I want you to tell me what you're doing. How will you be able to sell that to me? So, for example, if I come to you and ask you to sell to me your business in 1 minute, can you? If I come to you and I tell you to tell me what you're doing in 1 minute, so as I can be able to invest in you, can you do that? So that's where we said, okay, now people have ideas, people know how to register, people know how to be tax compliant, but then again, how are they going to be able to sell their businesses? Because at the end of the day, we do businesses to make money. Okay? So where do we get money? Is through selling. Okay, so how do we then sell? So this is where we have our keynote speaker today, and he's a seasoned mentor, helping young innovators, seasoned entrepreneurs on how to polish their pitches and help them to pitch right and also scale their businesses. So when you sell your business to someone, it helps you also to understand where you fall short, and also it helps you to understand where your strength is. Okay, so now before I invite and introduce our speaker, I want to have a short pitch. Okay, if you know you are there, you are very confident, you have your solution and you love it. Okay, I want to give 1 minute to 3 people. Not, I want to give you an opportunity to sell to us your idea. In 1 minute. Anyone ready? I'm giving you 1 minute to sell to us your business idea. Anyone ready? Yes, thank you. Mr. Pole is here. Thank you. Are you coming? Please come. Don't feel shy to pitch your business, because everyone here can be your customer. Okay? Actually, that's what I started with. The person you are seated with, if you know him, don't sit with them. Because at this point, you don't need them. You need a new network. Okay? Someone you will pitch to, someone you can tell what you are building. Okay? Please, I need at least 2 volunteers. Okay? So we have your name, Amanya and Ivan. So, okay, great. So let's start from last, and then we end with you. Okay. You tell us your business idea in 1 minute. I'm gonna time it.
So good evening, everyone. I'm called Amanya once again. So we have this solution called placement bridge. We have this imagination of everyone is on internet, but so many other people outside in the villages are not having internet. But these guys graduate and they actually want jobs, yeah. And there is automation. So people have feature phones, the small phones, but they don't have internet. So we created placement bridge to allow agentic search of jobs, so that if a job is verified to be in line with your CV, an agent notifies you via SMS. So that's our solution. Thank you.
That's 1 minute. Thank you. So let's have Mr. Evans come and pitch his business idea. I loved it. Before Mr. Evan comes in, how many of you can invest in Amanya's business idea? How many of you can you invest in it? How much? We have an investor here, guys. We have an investor. Someone clap hands for him. How much can you invest in him? $1 million. Great, great. We have yeah, he's a serious investor. If someone loves your business idea and they are ready to invest in it, don't take it for granted. I might not have money right now, but I can connect you with someone who has money because I've loved your idea. Yeah? So let's have Mr. Evans. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. So my name is Opio Evans. I'm an addiction specialist and a director at a Humura Recovery Center. At Humura Recovery Center, we have find out that most individuals are suffering, and there's nobody willing to offer them support and help. And so Humura is coming in to bridge a gap in providing treatment support, and prevention in a society that most people are affected with addiction and mental health. And so we are here to partner with you and to ask you to partner with us in the journey to mental wellness and recovery. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's 30 seconds, guys. That's 30 seconds. That is 30 seconds. He has already pitched his idea. See, the timer is here. It's not even, it didn't reach it even 30 seconds. That's amazing pitch. Thank you, Mr. Evans. And I think you did wonderfully. Guys, how much can you invest in? Who is going to invest in Mr. Evans? How much are you investing in him? 5,000 US dollars. Wow. Wow. We have an investor here. Thank you so much. Thank you. So now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this opportunity to welcome our today's keynote speaker. And I don't want to speak on his behalf, so I will invite him to introduce himself, and then we can begin from there our session today. Thank you. Can you join me as we welcome him? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Josh. Good evening, colleagues.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here today to have this conversation. And when Josh reached out, I think he wanted this to happen last week. Yeah, but I could not make it. I promised some other time. So when he suggested today, I took it. Why? Because throughout I like to work with youth, and I see it's the majority here, to support them in their initiatives. What I have realized over time is that there is immense potential. What is only needed is that inspiration for them to push. And so I felt it as an opportunity for me to come and have this conversation. And the way I have structured today's conversation, I didn't prepare PowerPoint presentations. I wanted us to have the real conversation and context of what the funders look for before you even get the opportunity to pitch. And so that's the conversation that we are going to have today. I'll be happy that it is interactive, and feel free at any point to come in. So my name is Gonzaga Kaswarra. I'm also a founder. I have an initiative where we support youth in workforce and skills readiness for the world of work. But I also work for other many things. Yeah, I'm here in Imbarara, but also in Fort Portal, and also across the Western region. So I'm happy to be here. Please feel free, let's interact. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions, but it will also be the beginning of more conversations, but also networking. Yeah, so that's brief about me. Most importantly is I love to work with the youth. Okay. Yes. So this morning I did an experiment. I am a researcher, so sometimes I like to do an experiment. So I had a meeting somewhere and I was late. So I jumped on a border. I didn't know this border guy. And so we agreed that he takes me for 3K. So when we reached there, I actually had 3K and 10K. That was the only money I had. So I pulled the 10K, gave him. He said he does not have change. But I suspect he could have had change. So I said, okay, I also don't have change. Can I trust you? He said yes. So I told him, you go, look for the change, bring the money and give it to the askari. When I am done, I will come and pick the what? The money. I think your guess is as good as what happened. He has actually disappeared. So he didn't pick. I called him because, first of all, I got the number plate. And he didn't know that I had picked the number plate of the motorbike. Two, I asked him to give me his number. And I called when he was there to confirm that it was the right number that he gave me. So, but again, he disappeared. And I was calling him, he was not picking. So I asked another friend of mine to call. And then he picked. So he said, the person who gave you his money is waiting for the balance. So he has disappeared. So, relating that to the today's discussion, I've worked with many founders who have a lot of initiatives, products, services that they offer, but they can never be reliable. And that's the beginning of this conversation that I want us to have. We are not here to point fingers, but we are here to talk to the reality, and then you get to understand maybe why don't you even get the opportunity to reach the funder, or to even pitch, or even when you pitch, no one trusts you. You get my point? So that's one example. The other example, I worked with an organization which I was supporting to develop proposals and look for resources. Good enough, I had worked with a number of people who helped me to network. Because you see, I may not have the money to give you, but I know someone who can give you the money. But again, the point is, are you reliable? Can I trust you that when you get this money, which you are saying you are going to do mental wellness, right? That you are actually going to do it, or you will channel the money into some other thing. So we wrote proposal and the money came. So the first batch, it was used for what it had been asked for. Then as money began to increase, he began to find ways to avoid us and avoiding the structures, because now he has a different motive. I can tell you that was the beginning of his death. The organization closed. He struggled until he could not even pay for rent. But the point I am making is the point of trust, the point of reliability. That how can I say that I can actually even give my collateral of land to this lady here to use it to get funding for his business, and that he will not change my title into their names? You get my point? Because we have different funding streams. The banks have that money, but maybe they need a collateral. And maybe you have a good business idea that can actually break even in the market, or for you to expand. But no one can trust you. So for me, that's the core that we really need to reflect. That if you are going to pitch, if you are going to find funders to fund your business, your products, your services that you offer, you must be trusted. You must build that trust. You must be reliable. That if you say you are going to, I've dealt so much with the tailors. I don't know if you have the same experience. You actually, for you to be on a safer side, if the function is today, you need to have told him a month back. And you tell him, I need it on like 2 weeks back. Interestingly, you are going to come, the deadline you agreed, he's starting. He's actually starting to cut and put pieces together. So, how can I be reliable that the next day I can refer another customer who wants a suit? And regardless, you might be working on your products are very good. You have nice suits, right? But you are not reliable. So how can I refer another person to come and use your services? You see? So I will get that one by and I say Mponye. And I will take off. But can you imagine this person has maybe very nice products? But what did he lack? Reliability. He cannot be relied. When he says one thing, instead he does the other. So the same thing, the potential customers who would be referring customers to you so that you don't have to suffer pitching, you are disappointing them. So even if you come and pitch in a community here or a group of targeted customers or audience, after you speak, they will say, that guy, deal with him at your own risk. Why? Because from the beginning, that is what you have built. You have built a legacy of unreliability. You have built a legacy of you can't be trusted. You are not honest. Your integrity is questioned. So, even when you meet with these potential investors or donors, it is the same thing, I can tell you. I know of an organization that was blacklisted. They have tried, but guess what? Donor X, because when you steal money for donor X, he tells donor Y, and donor Y tells Z. Why? Because these people interact. They say, by the way, we have been supporting the project, but guess what? This guy has disappeared with all the money. So, even if you are called to 100 pitches, you will pitch, but they will say, you can only deal with that at your own what? Risk. So the issue as founders, as entrepreneurs, as people with startups, the issue of reliability, the issue of building trust should be really at the core. Okay? So Joshua called people to pitch, and he gave them how many seconds? 1 minute, which is 60 seconds. So ideally, in 60 seconds, someone would not have picked your idea very well. Okay? But that's called it's a type of pitch called elevator pitch. It's just 1 minute. Tell me, what is it in 1 minute? So, ideally, you are supposed to capture your audience. You grab their attention just by one word. You may not go into the details because time is not enough. Now, I am happy that a lot of things you have done. But most importantly, most of you I see you are into tech space, is that you need visibility. You need online visibility. Okay? So that when you do your elevator pitch, probably you could have had brochures which give the detail. Meaning, if I want to find the detail, it is somewhere else. Okay? It could be in a brochure, it could be on your website, it could be on your TikTok account, and those other online platforms. And by the way, people will go and check. So if I want to know your name, if I want to know Amanya, with the other one, eh? Geronimo. So if I want to know anything about him, I will just go and Google, and his details will come. If he committed a crime, it will also come. You get? So, if he has an initiative that I want to understand its detail, you would have already provided platform. So, some of those, especially the elevator pitches, require that addition visibility. Online, but you could also do brochures. And you don't have to congest it. Just straight to the point. Okay? Because today we are having a conversation that the biggest population is now the youth, the Gen Z. So we have realized they have certain characters. One of them is the attention span. They are not going to listen for more than 30 minutes. So even my presentation, I have cut it short. You get? Because after 30 minutes, their mind switch off for a different thing. So if you are going to do your visibility, then you cannot write a whole paragraph of essays. Straight to the point. If it is a video, capture it 30, 60 minutes. Capturing what your product is, what the problem is, what is the solution, okay? And what is your ask. So as brief as that. And then the other aspect, I'm happy Josh talked about it, is compliance. Compliance. No one is going to deal with you if you are a briefcase. You have heard that thing, briefcase organization, briefcase company. Meaning, ideally, it is non-existent, but it is in the mind of someone. Okay? So, if the bank wants to give you money, or any investor, where is he going to find you? Do you have an address? Are you registered? I'm happy your RSB was here. Someone will go and check if this company is registered, if you are tax compliant, if you pay taxes. So if you are going to deal with a very credible person or institution or funder or investor, you must meet that criteria. You must be able to file your returns. You must be able to, if you are into money laundering or you are getting money from abroad, you must register with Financial Intelligence Authority. That is if you are receiving huge sums of money. So you must ensure that that compliance environment is met. And these days, it is very easy. Let me tell you, recently there was money the president was giving, the State House was giving out some money to investors to scale. Because the president is very passionate about those initiatives. So a group of youth went actually, and they had very good ideas. They presented and then they wanted money. So what they did was very simple. They went to check their registration status. It was not there. But they were claiming they are registered. Because now, URSB is just a click away. Give me the name, we input. It will show us the status. If it is to do with the tax compliance, it is the same. And of course, they lost money like that. So that one is very key. But also there is, if you have bigger initiatives, we have Uganda Development Bank. It has money. But like I said, you have a criteria that you need to meet for you to get that money. So as you pitch, they will also check on other things. What is your bank loan history? You got money from which circle do you have here? Chigarama circle. You disappeared. You got money from MTN more cash. You changed the line. Okay? There are these online platforms that borrow money. You have done the same. So your credit history is tagged to your name. CEO, Bwana CEO, your name will have the history of your credit history. And that one is now very easy with the NIRA registration. So how do you want someone to trust you when he goes to check the particulars? They are telling a different story. So you see, so pitching is one thing, but pitching and being successful has a lot of components that you have to be conscious about. Okay? Of course, for those of you who have products, who have services, what is the unique thing about them? What is your comparative advantage? That if I am doing, if say I'm packaging water, mineral water, and let's say it is called Imbarara something. What is it that makes it unique from the normal mineral waters? So as you develop your products, you must be able to articulate that uniqueness. The same thing, as you pitch, the funder will look what is unique. Because we have so many wellness centers in Imbarara. What is making yours unique? You must find that niche. Maybe yours adds additional psychosocial support. Maybe yours is it's helping maybe to, so you find that unique attribute, unique characteristic that it brings, and that must come out very clearly as you pitch. Okay. Then the other one is you must be able to show up. You must show up. You must network, because these opportunities are not going to find you home seated. Okay? but maybe they called a trade show of edutechs, and you come. When you come, you get to understand that there is someone who is doing the same, and he's telling you how they get funded. You get. There is no way you will have got to know that opportunity if you didn't show up. So I think for you, you are now much better that you can come to these networks. Okay? But please expand, push the walls to penetrate into more networks based on your audience, your market audience. Someone here was saying he has software for schools, right? Have you been into those spaces where the head teachers are? Because they are the ones who need them. You get my point. Those directors, so that when you are given an opportunity to introduce yourself, you are introducing yourself by your product. And when you go for break, tea, and lunch, someone wants to understand further what your product is all about. But as he's doing that, because you may not have a lot of time to explain to everyone, these are 100 people. But remember, we said you can do a brief summary of your product. It could be a brochure, it could even be showing your online platforms where they can get details. You give out. You get my point. So you are there, you see someone is texting you. I wanted to understand this fact, or is WhatsApping you. But you can only get these opportunities when you are in the networks. Okay? So show up. Very, very important. So why? Because these are catalysts of growth. And someone was saying if you are surrounded by 9 fools, guess who is going to be the 10th? You. That's not my saying. It was actually Oprah Winfrey. You know Oprah Winfrey? Yeah, she said surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Okay? And then Stanley said the next best thing to being wise oneself is to live in a circle of those who are. So if your circles are people who are, I don't know which example to use, but if they are thinking of coming up with innovation solutions, I bet you are going to be oriented into that, and vice versa. If at some point I had learned smoking by senior 2, but you know why? The company of students that I had taught me. They were smoking, and of course, for me to fit like them, I had to learn. You get? So the circle, the network that you build, the circle, directly or indirectly contributes to the kind of person you are going to be. Then the other one is collaboration. What most funders, investors are looking for is now not solo working. That I am an individual, I'm developing soap. I have done so many businesses, by the way, and I have failed in most of them. But that has been a very good learning lesson for me. So currently I am doing a soap business, bar soap. But we realized we first did a pilot because we didn't want to go to scale without first learning the dynamics. So if you are going to do the production and then the supply chain, you are going to lose it. You will actually run mad. Why? Because you have to keep an eye on people who are loading at the warehouse, and then you have to keep the eye on the driver who is carrying them from Kampala to supply them to Mbarara. And that's a lot of work for yourself. So why can't I give someone who has a fleet company to do that, so that I also reduce on the risk? So that if those soap get lost on the way, it is her risk, not mine. But as I am also earning, he's also earning in the same supply chain. You get my point? So most of the investors, most of funders want that collaboration. If you are working on something, whom else do you want to complement you so that you are working together? I'm very happy with the new curriculum. It is beginning to do that, because the way we were trained, us, is that we were trained, if you are doing an exam, you cover yourself, no copying. Your friend should not copy what you are doing. Okay? But also, the question is asking you to discuss, but you are discussing alone. You should be discussing with a partner so that you get solutions. But the other big advantage of collaboration is that you learn, but also tap into different skills that people have. If I am not good into visibility, someone is doing it for me, and me, I am focusing on another thing. Then finance, someone who is good in finance is focusing on that. Someone who is good in systems is supporting us to build systems. So collaboration. So for me, my appeal is, let's not fragment. Let's build together. But again, for us to build together, it goes to the first thing that I started with. Can we trust you? If we pulled our capital together, shall our hearts be at rest that he's keeping our money? Or our hearts will be out? Our necks is like, he's going to use it for something else. So then lastly but not least is, you must get feedback. You must be willing to get feedback. When you pitch, it is important you ask to get that feedback from the people you have pitched. But also, if you have products, someone was saying he has super grow. Who was that? Yes. So if I have bought your product of super grow and I have used it, other than you earning the money for that day and convincing me to buy, do you seek feedback to know whether it actually helped me in what I wanted? So that feedback, that interaction alone is going to build me confidence that you care, that you are actually, your products are genuine. And then that's how I will refer another person who is my fellow farmer, who is facing the same problem. But I can tell you, you're going to give people feedback and they get annoyed. I've been to hotels, you go to eat food, you find the table is dirty. And the waiter is coming to ask you, what do you want to eat? So I first tell him, you first help me and clean the environment. But when I do that, I see them how they frown. They get annoyed. Like this guy, because he has glasses on. So there is that belief that they have gezi. But in actual sense, I am giving a constructive feedback that is helping them, that is going to help their business. Because if another customer came and found it dirty, they will not come the second time. You get my point? So how do you build in that feedback loop for your products? But also when you pitch, you should be able to ask for that feedback. So, like I've said, we have different types of pitch. We have the elevator pitch. It is very short, 1 minute, 30 seconds. And you are not, trust me, you are not going to do much. Now, the investor pitch. This is where the investor is calling you to come and showcase your product, your project. Okay? So meaning you have to prepare, you have to take some time and prepare. So it is structured. You also expect questions. They are going to ask you questions. How are you going to break even in the market? How will quality, all those questions will come. So with that, you should be able to have the hook. A hook is like, I don't know if you have done fishing. The hook they use to attract the fish. So normally what they put on the hook is some food that attracts the fish to come. So it comes knowing that actually it is coming to enjoy the food. And then it is hooked. So that should be the first thing that you start with, the hook in your pitch. So I think he did it very well. Because I can still remember what his pitch was about. It was about wellness. So that small sentence, it could be a one sentence or 5 words, but that I can go out with, that I will still remember. So start with that hook. Someone was pitching about a honey product, and his opening statement was, I don't want to name the product. It was like, that honey product is as sweet as Uncle Ladies. Yes. And we were in the room and everyone was laughing. But guess what? He got the attention of everyone in that room that day. That even if everyone forgot all that was discussed that day, he knows that that honey is as sweet as, whether Uncle women are sweet, that's a different story. You get? But he had hooked the audience. You get my point? So look for that hook of your product, of your pitch. Okay? Then, of course, you will have a problem that you are addressing. So let the problem be very clear, the problem. What is the problem? And now don't start elaborating stories. What is the problem? The problem is that we have old men who do not access medical care. You even attach your statistic, so we know it is valid, it is well researched. Okay, what is the problem? Chief, your pitch, I'm trying to remember, was about edutech solution, right? What problem are you addressing? So it is coming to solve unemployment. So the problem is unemployment, and you must give the statistics at what percent, at what level. If your scope is in Mbarara, what is the state of unemployment in Mbarara? So have the hook, define your problem with the statistic. So the problem, so what? Solution. So the solution is what you are coming to offer. Remember, I said your solution must be unique. So you must bring out what is unique in your solution that is not with other solutions. You get my point? We already have mineral waters on the market. So what is unique about yours? So maybe mine has extra mineral something, you get. And that will become my what? My hook as I begin to pitch it. So someone will leave the other products and want to take mine simply because of that unique thing that I've talked about. So of course the solution must be embedded in with some innovation. Okay, most of you are innovators. So I talked about the market opportunity. You need to know your audience. Okay, whom are you pitching? You cannot now go to people who are very happy for a wedding and you pitch about caskets. They are going to stone you. You wish us death, will be their questioning. But if I came in an environment where people have died and I pitch about a casket, I'll talk about decent burial, that we can give your relatives or people who matter to you a decent what? Burial. So what is the package? Casket ABCD. And you'll be willing to listen. Why? Because the mood is death. So target audience, your market is very key. You don't just go and pitch wherever. People are very hungry towards lunch and you are pitching for 50 minutes. They will have switched off. So know your audience. Okay. Then of course the business model you must be able to know. Are you going to those business to business model? What model are you going to use? Is it a social impact, non-profit? Are you going to make profit? How are you going to plow back that profit into scaling? That is also important. Of course, through feedback, you get the early success. Okay? Someone will say, you know, by that, your product worked well for me. You have already got success. So how do you leverage on that success to scale? And for me, before you scale, piloting is very, very important. Otherwise, you are going to waste resources and time. Why? Because you wanted to go to scale without getting feedback. There is actually a friend of mine, he started a school. And he was doing well where he was. But why? Because he was a monopoly. He was the only one there. So money started coming in very fast and he was happy. He expanded. Now when he expanded, the money he was making as profit here, it was being taken to support the other struggling school. And he lost money. Why? Because he did not understand that here, he's the only person there. So people are coming to him because they have no option. And since he's a person who does not want any kind of feedback coming to him, he took the same attitude to where there are competition. And he fails. So try to pilot, identify those early successes, identify the failures, but learn from them to improve. Yeah. So of course, always end with the ask. You have presented your what? What did you start with? If you are pitching, what did you start with? No. You said you are starting with the hook. The other, so I'm now on the structure. The hook, the problem, the solution. We talk about your market audience, right? So now, after all that story, so what? What is your ask? There are people, they come, they present. If you ask, so be specific, know what you want. Do not beat around the bush. Okay? So that's the investor pitch. It is structured. Okay? So you're going to do a presentation, then they will ask you questions. And of course, now that you should be able to know your business. Again, some people were collaborating. Some knew what the product was, others didn't know. Unfortunately, on the day of pitching, the founder, the owner of the idea was not present. So the people who went to pitch, they were not very sure. So when they asked questions, that one we need to ask. We need to ask James. So meaning, even if you are going to collaborate, you need your team to be on the same page. Okay? But also you must be able to know their strength. Someone may not be confident to speak for the pitch, but he can do good market groundwork, preparing the presentation. So identify your team, know their talents, and that's Josh. I'm winding up. Yeah. So the other one is you must be able, if you are going to, you must be able to learn your industry. And how are you going to learn? You must be willing to read, but also take learning opportunities. I can tell you, for me, each day I am learning something new. Last week I learned how to put on a coat. Can you imagine? Because most of you think that when I get a coat, you just put on like that. No. You're supposed to put the hand first and it is pulled up so that it does not fold. That I learned last week. But all along, if someone asks me, do you know how to put on the coat? To end with a few remarks. One is that you need velocity more than speed. Some of you, I don't know if you have done, some of you have done physics at senior 1, senior 2. Those concepts are there. Scalar quantity, and which quantity? And vector quantity. And we would compare. Me, I had crammed those things. I know that speed is a what? Is a scalar quantity, velocity is a vector. I know the other dimension, like, you know. And when I get in an exam, I just reproduce without understanding what they meant. But speed is good. Speed, but is only concerned with going, the distance. How much distance have you covered? Okay? In a particular time. So that's a very good thing, but you see the difference with the velocity is that in what direction are you going? Because you might be on a speed, but you are running in a wrong direction. So you're going to use a lot of energy to come back when you realize you are in a wrong direction. And then you start afresh. But someone who moved with velocity, he moved at speed, but in a known direction. So for me, that is my appeal. You as founders, as innovators, your focus might be how much money do you have attracted in a year. But do you have the capacity to manage it, or it is going to cause more problems? And I have seen this. When money has not come, what people say is different from when money has come. you are going to see how your systems cannot manage to account, to comply these things that we have talked about. And then before you know, that donor whom you got has lost trust in you, and it affects the other thing that is to come. So you either start small and then grow big. As long as you know which day. So there is what they call planning, but also preparation. Planning is knowing what you want to do, but preparation, he his speech was the world-winning speech. His speech was the world-winning speech. But one of the characteristics that you are going to see there is the way he was engaging the audience. If you have come to pitch, okay, humura. Yeah, I like you have. He's already, you see, he has done what we are talking about. There is no harm in you giving your investor to engage with your product. Let them touch, let them feel. So you will see how he's engaging his audience. So very important, you engage the audience. Then, of course, I talked about visibility. Now, cleanliness. Be clean in the things you do. I'm not talking about the physical cleanliness. But have you dealt with someone and you feel this person is very confused? He's very confused. He comes here to present, he forgets X. He remembers here. So before he presents, he has been confused on so many things. So make sure you prepare, you are focused, but also smart. Okay? You know that smartness is next to godliness. Okay? How you work, how you are going to deliver, do it in a very smart way that someone feels he wants to. If I am looking for any service in photography, I want to deal with someone. Because there are many photographers. So why? Because there's the way you do your things in a unique way, in a smart way. So I've already talked about failure. You are going to fail, and that is no problem. Why? Because you learn from failure. So actually, I subscribe to daily inspirations. So the one that was there, I picked today, it was failure is part of success. It is not the opposite of failure. So some think if I have failed, then I'm very far from success. But success, each failure carries a lesson, like I've said. It helps you to change direction. It helps you to refine your skills, to rethink of your approach. Maybe the approach you used needed some polishing. So embrace failure as a teacher, for it paves the way to wisdom and resilience. Without it, success loses its depth and meaning. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. That has been a marathon and a monologue, because I have been speaking alone. So Josh, you can help me, we play that video. And then after that, please feel free, I see T, so we could interact as that happens. Yep. I don't know if the sound is.
I saw something in you. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm a dreamer, I'm a speaker, and I learned the unfailing quality of unconditional love from my wife. I was broken. I've been broken, lost, and broke many times in my life. But the people in my life were able to reach into the trash can and make me whole. If it was up to me, I would have never been able to do it. And this is why if you have great people in your life, no matter how broke, how lost, or how broken you become, they can lead you back there. Ladies and gentlemen, when I look at you, I see something. I don't know.
So, fellow colleagues, I see something in you, but I also don't know what it is. But this speech, like I told you, it's a global winning speech. But if you realize, you see, he hooked his audience with the flower and the petal thing, but also the consistency, the repetition kept. So you see, his audience had started to even repeat. You get. So that's what I can end with, and wish you a nice evening. However, whenever you get an opportunity to pitch, it's very important to seek support from a third eye. Sometimes you prepare and you think you have prepared the best, but when someone looks at it, you can give a different view. So it's always a good practice to have that third eye look through. Thank you.
So thank you very much for such a insightful presentation. So actually, you can join me and we give him a well-deserved third last clap. So our keynote speaker, it's really a honor and a privilege to actually have heard from you. And thanks for such innovative, provoking, and inspiring ideas. Thank you very much. So let
On the strength of others, because you may not have all the strength. But guys, I can tell you the issues of compliance, the Uganda we are moving into in the next 5 years is non-negotiable. If you may ask yourself why they have been chasing these traders off the street, do you know why? They want them to go and formalize their business. Because if you become formal, you are going to register for license. And that's how they will know that you exist. And as a result of that, you cannot run away from the tax. So, recently, TIN numbers have changed to your NIN numbers. You know why that is? If I am going to put up a structure like this for business and lie that you know this is for my child and I register it in my child, you get my point? And when I am paying water bills, they will be able to see. URA will be able to access that. So even if I say it is for my child, they will be able to compare the data in NIRA and see that this is your child. And this child is still in Matters Primary School. So where does he get the money to build this structure? So then they begin to interrogate you. So the issues of compliance, I am telling you, we are not going to run away. So the better we embrace them, the better. And I'm happy that the Hive Collabo is supporting that. URSB has been here, URA. In any time you need support of the sort, we can always come in to see how you are supported. But compliance, the issue of compliance is non-negotiable. Maybe the other compliance issue is UNBS, Uganda National Bureau of Standards. For those of you who are doing products like her, most of these days I used to interact a lot with people who are selling herbal medicine. Guno gutama amaanyi g'ekisajja, you know, and they know that is the biggest problem, so they know their market audience. But it must meet the conditions of National Drug Authority, but also UNBS. So the simple question whenever they come to pitch to me the drug of amaanyi g'ekisajja is, are you registered with NDA? Are you registered with UNBS? So that I can build trust to go and take your medicine, so that I know that it will work. So the issue of compliance, I can tell you, if you want to build business beyond generation, and I think for me that should be the goal, that you build a business that outlives you, and into might be other generations, 10th, 5th generation. And I think there have been so many studies around Africa. We are not good into that. If I am a businessman and I die today, I die with systems in place that even if you are sick, the business can still run. But starting from where we started, unfortunately, even parents don't trust their children. You give your wife money to run something for you, akukubako enjawulo. You get. But that is fine since the money is coming back home. But still, now the questions of trust will come in, and someone, before you know, is hiding investment somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other question?
Good evening, everyone. Naguja Farida, doing Bachelor's of Tourism and Hospitality Management. And what I'm going to ask you about is about tourism. How does technology help the young graduates get employed in the competitive environment, and how can technology, the AI, help us to innovate new ideas in around the tourism and the cultural sites around Uganda?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, like I told you, I have some enterprise I do in Fort, and specifically, Fort is a tourism hub. So, one of the challenges that we faced was in terms of the quality of the services and product. And me, whenever I go, I do like real observation. I can tell you, if you left here and sat in Fort in a hotel, it's going to take people 10 minutes to serve you. He will come, he passes you, then he will ask, do you want food? So what brought me in the hotel? So sometimes no, I tell them no, I want an album. Bring me an album. I see photos. Because I have come, I have sat, it means I want a service. So why do you ask me, do I need food? You get. So now, it means there is now opportunity to train people who are doing business to be ready for those opportunities. Because you can imagine if you did that to a tourist who values time, the next time he will not come back to your business. But if there's someone who speeds up the service, the booking, so you can actually use the AI tools to do booking, but like I said, that has to come at a cost of reliability. If they are going to deal with you, are you reliable? There's been a lot of online businesses and they are picked. But I know for 2 businesses I've dealt with. One, he told me, send money, you will have your items delivered up to today. And I wanted to use a lot of energy to look for him. This is a person you are talking with online and he's saying he's going to deliver a product. You pay, he has disappeared. Someone has booked, you are telling him you are going to take him to Kabale, where. After paying, the package changes. You get my point? So these are some of the things that we said, that these opportunities, before anyway they will come because they are there, but they are going to come when you have worked on the foundations, is what is very important. Because if he comes and he understands that you are very reliable, he's going to refer. Someone who will want to come and move around, you will already have a referral. And I can tell you, referrals are much, much better than you even sending out your TikTok. Because someone is going to see your TikTok of the services you offer, but they cannot vouch for it. Someone cannot say, I am putting my hand. Now he's skeptical because they might cut it. But if someone has referred, he said, but my friend is the one who, so you will have that trust. So for me, working on those foundations, the ones that I talked about, reliability, trust, showing up in spaces where opportunities are, for me are the basic foundations, and then on which others can be built. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So for the interest of time, we are going to close from here. But if you have a question, you can write it down and you leave me with the papers. Because our offices are actually always open from Monday up to Friday. You can consult about anything. Let it be tech, let it be entrepreneur issues, challenges, and etc. So in case you need us, we are always available here in this room. Actually, the other side. So thank you very much for trusting us. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for coming. And at this juncture, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our keynote speaker. Thank you so much for accepting our invite, and thanks for such insightful presentation. And to you, my dear innovators, creatives, business owners, I have only 3 questions for you. Question number 1, you have been actually having sleepless nights, thinking and polishing your idea. My question is, up to when? And there is a proverb that says that a man who cannot cultivate his or her own garden, one day he or she will die of hunger. Okay? Then another thing, you are already a business owner. Do you have the capacity to articulate your compelling value of your product? If yes, well and good. If you can't, another question. You are a lawyer. You are a data analyst. You're everything that you think about. Then, accept the course. What are you cooking in this challenging world? I want to give you one thing. Personally, I did law. I did data analytics. I went for business. Up to date, I'm doing what? I'm a PhD student. So, like, as you're sailing through like this, like this, like this, you have to get that one thing. Like, as the youth or young entrepreneurs, you have one thing in common. I'm doing journalism. But after doing that journalism, what happened? Those ones who have been in the actually after campus, they can tell you the whole story. You have to cook your brain and come out with an idea, which is unique, special, and its own what? That you can present to a person and you be like, you know what? I can do consultancy. This person will give you an assignment. Write for me a what? A proposal. And we are going to present it on a what? On an international level. Then you will block the person so that he or she does not call back. So being the course is okay, graduating is so nice, but cook an idea that will help you thrive in this challenging Uganda. Thank you very much. At this point, I would like to give the mic to the chief organizer to finalize this session, but feel free to collaborate, network. Please take numbers. I don't want you to come to me and then you're telling me the other girl who was putting on a blue skirt. Then after we shall have our tea and then we depart. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I came with my friend Relia. Stand up. Yeah, she works with the youth in Chivale refugee settlement, and they are helping them to incubate business ideas right from the secondary level. So by the time even if they dropped out, the same discussion we're having, they will have a way of surviving and thriving. Yeah, so can sit.
Thank you so much, our keynote speaker of today's session. And guys, can you join me? We thank him once more. Thank you. I think it was one of the wonderful sessions, and especially the fact that it was about selling. Okay, because at the end of the day, what matters is what you put out in the market. Okay, but if you are putting out of the market, how are you really putting it out of the market there? Thank you so much, Mr. Gonzaga. Me, I normally call him Gonza. I hope it doesn't annoy you. But allow me to also introduce some of the business partners that we have here. From this table, we have Digitech Solutions Hub, represented by MTF Baker. Thanks for being here. On this table, we have no, I want to talk about the company. Yeah, we have Digital Chronicles. They are part of us here as well, and they have been with us over the years. And we have no, your business. Nature is green. Nature's green. Okay, so we have Nature's green as well, and here we have Safe Spaces, and we have HTV with us here. We have a table for top-notch TV, and so many other business and entrepreneurs here. And I want to really appreciate you all for supporting the innovation, supporting the ecosystem, and being part of us and being collaborative. So when I'm here and having a group of young entrepreneurs around me, I am young, I'm part of you, I'm not yet old, I feel so safe because I know if I need maybe something that has to do with education, I can go to him. If I need something to do with marketing, if I need something to do with digital, in our digital economy, I can go to him. Okay, and over here we have Humra Recovery Center. Humra Recovery Center, yeah, yeah. And I think we need to have them because at some point I build things and then I reach a point and I ask myself, "Na hii mfaachi?" Have you ever asked yourself that question? You are doing something and then you reach a point, "Na hii mfaachi," you know, and then you start getting examples from other people who are, for lack of better words, who are failing, and you start saying like, but Gundi is there. Why am I hustling this much? So I feel like we need to have a conversation with them. They take us through, what it takes for us to recover when you are at that point, yeah. But thank you so much again, Mr. Gonzaga. And once again, next month we are going to be having investor readiness conversation, whereby we are going to have a speaker taking us on how you can actually be ready for investment. Okay, you know how to pitch, but then again, how are you going to be able to be ready for investment? When an investor comes to invest in you, there are some of the things that they expect you to have. Okay, when an investor comes with his money, he wants you to have some compliance documents. Okay, is it equity? Is it grant? Is it based on what he is going to invest in you? There are some requirements that you need to have, and that's the convention that we are going to have in August. And then in September, either September or October, we are going to have make a deal session, and I think that will be a unique session because we are going to be having investors. So we are going to pitch in front of investors, and they are going to actually invest in you. Okay? So if they love your idea, they love your vision, they love the way you are building it, they are going to invest in you. Okay? So we're going to have either in September or October, we are going to have a make a deal session, and we are having conversation with Excel Hot in Coranolia. That's where I hope that we should have this session, and the conversation is at its it has already matured, and once it comes through, we shall be having our make a deal session there. They already have a pool of investors who are ready to invest in young innovators, and they are basically looking at agri-tech for you. So as you can prepare early, they are basically looking at agri-tech solutions. So in case you have your agri-tech solution, be ready. You never know, you can get your investment there. And even if you don't get an investment, but that pitch itself, okay, that deal itself can help you to understand where you are in your journey as an investor, okay. And after that, we shall close our build to scale session with a team that will help us to understand how do we really navigate the journey as investors. I don't want to waste a lot of time, and for those who just joined us late, my name is Joseph Mhanguzi, and I'm founder and team lead at Just Tech Solutions. And at Just Tech Solutions, we are a software company that help businesses to build and launch fast at a cheaper price. Okay, and we also partner with Hive Collab to do events like this, Founders Day Cafe, and we also have a yearly event called Hackathon Balala, where we bring different people from all walks of life, students, entrepreneurs, industry experts, working together to find solutions for our local problems. So you can stay connected with us via our social media platforms on LinkedIn, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok as Just Tech Solutions, and you can keep up with the updates that we are always posting. Thank you so much. I have one problem. Whenever I see food, my hearing sense cuts off. So I don't know about you, but we are going to have our evening tea. So those who have had questions, okay, grab a tea, come and have a conversation with Mr. Gonzaga. Are you still here with us for some few minutes? Yeah, so he's still here with us for 20 minutes. So grab a tea, come and sit with him, have a conversation. Ask him that question that you wanted to ask him, okay? That said, let's have a group photo and then we can enjoy our evening tea, okay? Let's all come here and have a group photo and then we can call it an evening. Thank you so much and I wish you a wonderful networking session. Thank you all.